There's an old Cherokee story about this grandpa telling a story to his grandson about two wolves. Two wolves are inside of us. They're raging a war, a fight. One wolf is good, one wolf is bad. The bad wolf, full of anger and envy and strife. The good wolf, full of peace, love, and happiness, and want everything to work out well for us. The grandson said to his grandpa, "Well, Grandpa, which wolf is going to win?" The old grandpa said, "The one you feed the most." In this episode, we're going to talk about this concept. Why you're having so much bad luck when it comes to prospecting. I bet you it has to come down to that wolf that you're feeding. I'll explain. Hey everyone, welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast. I'm your host, Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist, and I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And on this episode, we're going to talk about that two wolves. We're going to talk about why you have so much bad luck when it comes to prospecting. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're doing, right? You have all these members on your team that are doing so well, but you, whenever you go out prospecting, whenever you pick up that phone, whenever you send out those emails, whenever you reach out to people on LinkedIn, it just seems like it's not working. Nothing ain't working right. What's causing that? Well, I think this concept might help you. It's something known as cognitive dissonance. So the story of the two wolves, this concept, and I'll explain cognitive dissonance to you, but you probably know about it. But the two wolf story comes back to the simple idea. There's no room for two different opposing forces inside of us. When it comes to cognitive dissonance, it's basically a thought or a theory, an idea, or I guess a fact now, been proven, that we as human beings, as individuals, can have two opposing thoughts going at the same exact time. So let me give you an example. When you're going out prospecting, what's some things that you're thinking about? Let's just be honest. You're thinking, well, they're not going to answer the door. If you're doing door-to-door security or if you're doing solar, no one is going to answer the door right now. You're thinking if you reaching out on the phone that nobody's going to pick up their phone right now. I mean, it's COVID, for goodness sakes. Come on, nobody's in the office. If you're talking about LinkedIn, you're going to be like, nobody ever answered these messages on LinkedIn in the first place. So that's one wolf talking to you. And then you have this other wolf that's saying, well, we want to get the appointment. They are active on LinkedIn. Maybe our messaging needs to be tweaked. Perhaps you have the good wolf telling you, well, if you call, perhaps they have voice over IP and the phone will get routed. Or maybe you get the right person and they'll tell you how to get in contact with that individual. Or maybe the good wolf is telling you about the email saying, hey, listen, you might send that email and it's going to be good because this person probably is waiting for the solution that you have to offer because they're an ideal customer. You have these two opposing forces in you. Now, some people, they listen to the good wolf, what's a good wolf? They listen to the good wolf, and by listening to the good wolf, they change the way that they perform. It changes their demeanor. It changes their confidence. It changes the words they say. And this is not like hocus pocus stuff. Last week I talked about this idea of a mindset, right? And I want to prove these things to you over these episodes. But in this concept, though, when you go into the meeting and you're thinking that you're losing, you're listening to that bad wolf. Listen, it doesn't matter. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to show you that you're not going to win because the buyer is going to pick up on what you're saying. They're going to pick up on how you're saying it. They're going to feel that you're not confident, and therefore, why in the world should they listen to another salesperson? Let's go back to the good wolf now. Think about some of your teammates. Just take a second and think about it. I'm sure you have some teammates, and I have my eyes closed. I'm not sleeping, but I just want you to think about a teammate on your team or someone you've worked with who is just doing so well. Do you feel or do you imagine that person being super negative? Do you imagine that person listening to the bad wolf and complaining and whining and being envious? You probably don't see that in that individual. They're probably some of those people who are the most optimistic. They're probably some of those people who are the most confident. They're probably some of those people who are the most willing to solve the client's problem and more willing to help you. That nature that they have is fed by the good wolf, so to speak. That nature that they have is felt by the prospect when they reach out to them. Their emails don't sound desperate because they don't need this. They're trying to help someone. Their phone calls and voicemail don't sound like they're waiting for, that everything's going to end if they don't get this one deal. No, They sound like they have a problem they sound like they understand the problem that the buyer has, and the buyer is intrigued by what they're saying. Those things can come with, finesse. You can come with tweaking the messaging. You can come with working on that. But here's the problem. If I could give you every single messaging that the top performer is doing, if I can give you the exact email that they're sending, if I gave you the exact type of copy they're using in their LinkedIn message, if you have all those tools and you still listen to the bad wolf and you go into that meeting, you know exactly what I know that's going to happen. It is still not going to work. It's called that bad luck. It's because of the fact that you have cognitive dissonance going on. You're feeding the wrong side of your brain. You're feeding the wrong source, man, woman, whoever's listening to this episode. You're feeding the wrong person. So here's what I want you to do to get rid of your bad luck. It's not complicated. Again, this is science. Go look it up. Cognitive dissonance. Focus on the thing that is the most important. And here's what happens. Our brain, and I've talked about this before, your brain have no clue what's real and what's not real. Reality really comes down to what you perceive reality to be, or what you define reality to be in a lot of ways to your brain. So now let's think about this. If I have this belief, if I have this understanding, if I feed the good wolf that this person is going to answer the phone, that this person is going to be interested, that this person is going to respond to my email, respond to my message, what do you think is going to happen over time with the way that I craft emails, the way that I present myself, and the way that I articulate my problem or the client's problem to them? It's going to sound way better than the person who's desperate. Now, I'm not telling you by doing this that all of a sudden every single email is going to get responded. Sometimes you have bad data. I can't help you with that. You need to go check out the folks over at Zoom Info, and they're not sponsoring this podcast yet, so tell them about this. Perhaps you're it's not the data alone. Perhaps you can't find the email addresses. Maybe you need a tool to help you to do that. You're connecting with folks on LinkedIn, but you want to know how to reach them. You don't have Sales Navigator. Then go check out tools like Hunter.io. You can get the first 50 credits for free. That's another amazing tool. And perhaps you're trying your best. You're doing all of those things, and you have the emails, you have the right data, you have the right messaging. And it's just that the simple fact that the person is not ready at this time. They're in a bad state of mind. They're listening to the bad wolf. Well, that's not in your control. Let's move on to the next one. What I'm getting at is that your chances of performance in landing those appointments and getting quote unquote lucky increases significantly because you're feeding the right wolf. It's cognitive dissonance. You cannot have two opposing thoughts in your mind going at the same exact time. One will prevail. Which one will prevail? Going back to that Native American story, it is the one that you feed the most. And what I would like for you to do, and here's how you can feed the right wolf. You need to make sure you're reading books. Obviously, you're listening to podcasts. You're doing the right thing there. Good job. You need to make sure you surround yourself with people. Some of you are working remotely, and I know the struggle of that. You're being by yourself, and you're waking up, you're seeing your family, and you're going down to the dining room table or to a room or whatnot, and you're trying to perform in your task. You need to be a part of Mastermind. We have a paid mastermind, and I just want to let you know about that. That paid mastermind is $197 per month. And each week we come together as sales reps, and we have a dialogue. We have a discussion. We have people that go in the hot seat, people who have challenges, people who have a difficulty overcoming that bad wolf, so to speak. We give you counsel. We give you help. We also bring in experts to come in once a month who can speak around a topic. These groups are small. They're 10 sales reps maximum, and it's an intimate conversation. It's led by myself or one of our facilitators, and I would love for you, if you're in that situation, you're trying to fight that bad wolf, for you to come in and be a part of the community with us. The next one begins on November 13th. It goes for 3 months, and we have these rotating. I would love to have you. It's a fun group. The other thing that I want to recommend that you do is you look for programs that can help you. And that's one of our programs, Sales Mindset Program. That's the Sales Mindset training I mentioned a week ago. In that program, we help you not only understand what to do and how to do it, but the critical part, why you do this stuff, why you're behaving the same way, why you make these mistakes, and how we can correct that. You're welcome. Try this tip. This one simple concept about cognitive dissonance. It's in part of one of our training. If you apply that, I promise you, you're going to see an uptick in your performance. You're going to see that you get lucky. You're going to see that you perform better. And you know what my definition of luck is, right? It's the opportunity, is where opportunity meets hard work. That intersection. I learned it from one of my sales managers. The more lucky you, the harder you work, the more focused you are, the more confident you are. It's so amazing how all of a sudden you become more lucky. Top sellers do it, and you could enjoy that and earn it and do it as well. So going back to this idea again, which wolf are you going to feed? Feed the good one. Feed the proactive one. Feed the idea of success, and don't focus on negative, because if you focus on negative, it will transpire in your life. Here's not, again, this is not magic, but what will happen is because you focus so much on it, your brain will point things out that are negative to you. You are going to behave accordingly, and you're going to believe the most important part. You're going to start believing this, and then you're going to act accordingly, and then eventually you stop prospecting. Then eventually you start making excuses. Then eventually you don't perform well, and you might lose your job. But if you focus on the positive, if you build that wolf, if you encourage that right thing, if you feed the right mentality, listen, sky's the limit. Amazing things can happen. I tell you these things because I want to help you. I want you to succeed. I want you to thrive. I want you to be successful. There is no excuse for sales reps, no excuse in this day and age for sales reps to not be able to know how to best improve. We have tons of resources, and there are many sales podcasts out there and many amazing books. The thing that I want you to do, though, is I want you to believe that you could succeed. I want you to believe that you can thrive, and I want you to act accordingly. Don't run up in that game with that negative mindset. I want you to perform well. My personal goal as a sales evangelist, I'm not a sales evangelist, man. I am the sales evangelist. All these other people stealing a name or whatnot, they're fake, man. They're washed up. We are the original, and I am the sales evangelist. And the reason why I love that title is because I want to evangelize the method of effective selling. I want to help you to recognize what works and what doesn't work. I want to be able to empower sales reps all across the globe, for those sales reps to be able to succeed and to be able to thrive, for them to be able to have access to the same knowledge that the best sellers in the world have. We want to make sure that you get that information. We want to democratize the effective methods of effective selling. We want to make this available to all. And if this is something you believe in, again, stay within our community, help somebody else come and find out about our community, and also make sure to jump into one of our programs so we can help you to thrive and succeed even further. I want you to be able to find more of those ideal customers. I want you to know what to say when you reach out to them. I want you to be able to have better insights. And let's say you're reaching out to a prospect, or a prospect reaching out to you and you're not available. I want you to check out tools like Pipedrive, because Pipedrive is going to let you know about that. Pipedrive is going to do the work for you. Straight up, listen to this. Pipedrive is going to be able to interact with your prospect while you're sleeping, while you're in your third dream, while you're daydreaming about that $1 million check. Straight up, it's going to work for you. It's not going to cause you any error or any problem. And here's a cool thing about Pipedrive. Pipedrive is willing to give you an extended trial. Typically, they do a 14-day trial, but they're going to give you a 30-day trial. 30 days of Pipedrive. Can't beat that. And then after that, Pipedrive is going to give you 25% off the first 3 months. That's an offer that is amazing. Speaking about closing more deals, speaking about finding the right prospect, I want you to check out my friends over at Wingman as well, because Wingman is kind of like your sidekick that's helping you to be able to understand how and what to say as you're reaching out to some of these prospects. It's going to give you some guidance. It's going to let you know, you're talking too much there. You need to slow down. You need to stop saying all these ums and ahs and all these things, and you need to focusing on the prospect. Give them the right message. It's a powerful tool, and I want you to check it out. My team and I, we love it, and you can find all the details by going to trywingman.com. Speaking about that, my friends over Wingman and I are doing a webinar, and I would love for you to check that out. That's going to be next week. And the cool thing about this webinar, we're going to give you some ideas, some data, things you can't make up. You're not going to need to guess. We're going to give you some concepts of how you can create those powerful end of the year meetings, those powerful sales reviews, and how these can help you to be able to best prepare for 2021. Find all the details by going into our show notes. Again, I want you to find more of those ideal customers. I want you to know what to say when you reach out to them. I want you to feed the good wolf. I want you to close more deals. But most importantly, I want to challenge you each and every single day to go out and do big things. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video today. If you enjoyed the content, I ask you to go ahead and hit that like button, that thumbs up in the bottom right-hand corner. Also, to make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. This way, we'll keep you up to date with all the latest sales strategies, latest tools, and things that are going to help you to not only find more prospects, but to close more deals. Thanks so much.